Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel Bio Explorer. I am Dimut Jayaratne. This is an educational channel and this channel will be very useful to improve your biological knowledge. Today in this video we are going to discuss about one of the main organic compounds found in living organisms. They are lipids. Lipids are one of the main organic compounds found in living organisms. They play various functions in the human body to keep us healthy. It is a diverse group of hydrophobic molecules. Lipids are large biological molecules, but they are not considered as polymers or macromolecules. Main elemental composition is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, but hydrogen to oxygen ratio is not 2:1. We can identify comparatively more hydrogen in lipids. Biologically important types of lipids are fats, phospholipids and steroids. Fats. A fat molecule consists of two parts as glycerol and fatty acid. Glycerol is a small molecule belonging to alcohol group. It consists of 3 carbons where each of them bear a single hydroxyl group. Fatty acids are long hydrocarbon molecules. A typical fatty acid contains 16 to 18 carbons with a carboxyl group at its one terminal. To form a fat molecule, 3 hydroxyl groups in the glycerol molecule react with carboxyl group of 3 fatty acids separately. This type of reaction is known as dehydration synthesis reaction or condensation reaction, where a water molecule is released when forming a new bond. The linkages where fatty acids bound to glycerol backbone is called ester linkage. They are linkages containing an oxygen atom next to a carbonyl group. This results a fat molecule with 3 fatty acids attached to a glycerol backbone. Those resulting fat molecules are called triacylglycerol or triglycerides. Triglycerides may contain 3 identical fatty acid tails or 3 different fatty acid tails. The hydrocarbon chains of fatty acids contribute to the hydrophobic nature of the fats. Based on the nature of hydrocarbon chains of fatty acids, they are categorized as saturated fats and unsaturated fats. Saturated fats. Saturated fats are made up of saturated fatty acids. They are fatty acids that have only single bonds between neighboring carbons in the hydrocarbon chain. That means those fatty acids are saturated with hydrogen atoms. Usually, animal fats come under this category. They are mostly solid at room temperature, example, butter. The reason for this is because saturated fatty acid tails are straight and those fat molecules can pack tightly against one another, resulting high melting point. Unsaturated fats. They are made up of unsaturated fatty acids which have one or more double bonds in the hydrocarbon chain. Now those fatty acids have fewer hydrogens, so they are unsaturated. If there is only one double bond in the carbon skeleton of a fatty acid, it is monounsaturated, while if there are multiple double bonds, it is polyunsaturated. There are two types of double bonds in unsaturated fatty acids as cis and trans configuration. In cis configuration, two hydrogens associated with the bond can be seen on the same side, while in trans configuration they are on opposite sides. A cis double bond results a kink-core bend in the fatty acid. This contributes for the behavior of fats. Unsaturated fats may classify based on the above nature of double bond of their consisting fatty acids as cis unsaturated fat and trans unsaturated fat. Because of the kink or bond in cis fatty acids, those fat molecules can't pack tightly together as saturated fat, resulting in a low melting point. So they are mostly liquid in room temperature. Example, vegetable oils and olive oil. They are what we called oils. Consumption of excess saturated fats and trans unsaturated fats can lead to weight gain and cause health problems such as atherosclerosis. Phospholipids. They are major components of the cell membrane which separates the inside of the cell from its surroundings. Cell membrane consists of two layers of phospholipids with their heads facing outward and their tails pointing inward. A phospholipid molecule is made up of two fatty acids and one phosphate group attached to one glycerol molecule. Different phospholipids have different modifiers on the phosphate group. The phosphate group gives the negative electrical charge to the phospholipid molecule. Typically, an additional polar molecule or a small charged molecule is also linked to the phosphate group. Example, choline, it is a nitrogen containing compound, and serine, it is an amino acid. A phospholipid contains two parts as hydrophobic tail and hydrophilic head. Because phospholipid has both hydrophobic and hydrophilic parts, it is an amphipathic molecule. Fatty acids do not react with water because they are hydrophobic. The hydrophilic head includes glycerol, phosphate group, ester bonds, and the additional group linked to phosphate. The hydrophilic head interacts readily with water. Phosphate containing group is hydrophilic because it has a negative charge. If phospholipids are placed in water, they will rearrange to form a structure called micelle. Here, hydrophilic heads are facing outside and the hydrophobic tails are pointing inside. Steroids. Steroids can be identified by the carbon skeleton of 4 fused rings. They are also hydrophobic and insoluble in water. The steroids, which have a hydroxyl functional group attached to a particular site, belong to a group of alcohols. They are also called sterols. Steroids vary in the chemical group attached to their 4 interconnected rings. Examples for steroids are cholesterol and cortisol. Cholesterol. It is an essential steroid for the survival of organisms. It contributes for the synthesis of sex hormones like testosterone and estradiol. Cholesterol is generally synthesized in the liver. Also, the food we eat gives the body extra cholesterol. Cholesterol is the starting material for other important molecules in the body such as vitamin D and bile acids. Functions of lipids. It is important as a food source that provides energy. Fat contains over twice as much energy per gram as carbohydrates. So fats provide an efficient way to store energy over long periods of time. Maintain the fluidity of plasma membrane, example phospholipids and cholesterol. Act as signaling molecules that travel through the body, example hormones. Found as components of animal cell membrane. So that's for today. Hope you enjoy this video and gain a lot of facts for your biological knowledge. So please subscribe this channel and click the bell icon. See you in the next video.